Oojamaflipper, thank you for your response. You said my video was a rape apologist video, which I find very curious. I think that's somewhat like when a scientist puts out a study that suggests that, you know, at least according to some initial findings, that men might be better at math than women. All of a sudden, all the feminists are like, oh, well, his research is sexist, and he's sexist, and it's all sexist. Sexist, sexist, sexist. Oh my goodness. Look at all this rampant sexism that's going on. I'm not going to turn away from that as a scientific reality if it were ever shown to be a scientific reality. Your argument is just like, well, no, how could that be? Because that would be immoral, because rape is wrong. Don't you understand that the world doesn't care what you think of it? It's not a pop star. It's not going to change its mind because you're offended. It doesn't care. It doesn't care what I think. It doesn't care what you think. It is what it is. Now, you said that my video veers way off topic. And I don't know if this is my fault for not explaining myself correctly, or your fault for not being able to understand what I was talking about, but I was criticizing the discussion as it existed. Because I saw people trying to apply black and white morality to human behavior, rather than actually looking at the root cause of that behavior. Now, you asked the question, do women have any percentage of responsibility when they get raped? You know, what is responsibility? What does that even mean to you? Do I have responsibility if my house gets burglarized for not buying a security system? Does that make it my fault? Some people would say yes, some people would say no. It's all subjective. And you know, one person's subjective opinion shouldn't mean much more than anyone else's. I'm sure that it depends on your moral code. How do you, I mean, are you looking at this through the lens of utilitarian ethics? Are you looking at it through the lens of individual rights? What does responsibility mean in this instance? I mean, you don't even clearly define the term. Do women have any responsibility when they get raped? In my opinion, no. I mean, even if a woman walks down the street with a sign on her back that says, "Rape me, I don't care." You know, if she has a shirt that says no means yes, if she goes into a den of rapists, you know, naked with her fucking ass hanging out, no, I still don't think it's her fault. I still don't think she's responsible, because someone else has to take the initiative to do it. Can a sexual display lead to rape? You know, is there perhaps a guy sitting in the bar who sees the girl, you know, in the cleavage-showing shirt and the tight pants, and he says to himself, I need that? You know, I'm sexually frustrated, I'm angry, I want that? Could that happen? Yeah, it does happen. Does that make her responsible? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anything like that. All I'm saying is that one thing can lead to another. It's like if I walk outside, you know, naked, and someone turns their head and sees me, and they, you know, freak out and lose control of their car and crash into a tree and die, that doesn't mean I'm responsible because I went outside naked. You know, not that I ever do that, at least not on weekdays. You say there's no gray area in rape. I detest anyone who says there's no gray area in anything. There's a gray area in genocide. There's always a gray area. Because within the mind of the person committing a crime, you know, no one goes around like a Hollywood villain, like, I am so evil, mwahahaha. Most people justify their own actions. And therein lies the gray area. Perception. How a rapist perceives himself versus how the world perceives him. That is the gray area. when we do something immoral, we make a little exception for ourselves. Oh, well, it's okay when I do it, because I know how I feel. Don't ever tell me again that there's no gray area. There is only gray area. There is no black and white. You're not a religious person, I don't think. I mean, if you believe in God, then maybe you can make some sort of case for a black and white morality. But if you are someone who believes in science and rationality, then you cannot believe in black and white morality. It's an untenable position. And you took issue with the fact that I say rape is repugnant to our modern sensibilities, rather than just rape is repugnant. Well, you know what? Moses didn't have much of a problem with rape when he was ordering his men to do it, like all armies did. You know, the Vikings didn't have a problem with it. You know, there's been plenty of times and instances throughout human history where a bunch of people got together and said, hey, rape is A-okay. These were not a separate species from us. These were not people who were vastly less intelligent than us. These are people who are about the same as us. They just happen to live in a different time and place. You say the social evolution of rape has nothing to do with the conversation that's going on. I don't agree with that. I think, you know, I mean, that's like saying that, you know, flour has nothing to do with baking a cake. I mean, we're looking at the root cause here. We're looking at where does this come from? Why does this happen? Are you going to tell me that why something happens has nothing to do with the event itself? That's just idiocy. Now the only really terrible point you made, the only point that I really want to rake you over the coals for, is you said that, do rapists think about propagating their own genes while they're raping? No, of course not. Of course not. Not even subconsciously are they thinking about that. That's not, I mean, do you understand how evolution works? I'm saying that behavior is something promoted by evolution, because a rapist is more likely to pass their genes on. So the factors that would lead one to be a rapist in the first place will get passed on to that rapist's offspring. That doesn't mean that ever does it consciously enter someone's head, I must procreate. I mean, a gay man has about the same sex drive as any straight man, and he has no hopes of procreating whatsoever. But it's still procreation that drives that urge within him. You know, the reason he has a sex drive is because it promotes procreation. That, you know, the fact that he has no hopes of procreating has nothing to do with it. So, I think that was just a stupid point overall.